We're back from break. You're listening to Real Estate Radio San Antonio with Carla and Stan. We've got some great things here as we wrap up this program here in the last segment with Libby and Craig Ross. And Carla, you guys were talking about luxury homes, so go ahead and you guys finish that up.
Yeah, Craig, tell us, or Libby, either one, tell us about where the change happened in our luxury market, because it was kind of non-existing for a while, and kind of talk about that a little bit.
Well, the change really occurred in, I would say, 2008, when the whole country went through kind of the recession and all that stuff. Now, San Antonio was a little bulletproof because of job growth was incredible here. And so people came from other markets that were down 20, 30, 40, 50%, and they'd come here and find that we were pretty much break even. Yeah, there was pockets and communities that were down 20, 22%, but overall kind of held in there. So the luxury market at that time, yeah, homes just sat on the market. You know, if you had a $2.5, $3 million home, or more typically a $1.5 million home, it would sit on the market for 300 plus days, if not 2 to 3 years, depending on your pricing. And so people had to be very realistic or have a very specific motivation to want to put the price to get it sold. After 2008, what really has happened is, first of all, builders came back in. And the demand, with all the job growth and all the incredible growth in San Antonio, it allowed builders and custom builders to start building many, many more, custom homes that were in the what I would call luxury market. Luxury market in San Antonio technically is probably from about 700,000 on up. The biggest swath of the market in San Antonio is really from about 700 to about 1 million. That's where I would say the majority in the last couple of years, if you had to talk about units in the luxury market, sold. When you get above that, those homes still sit on the market for a little while. But over the last couple of years, we've seen that homes typically are selling after about 200 days or so, 240 days, somewhere in there. The bottom line is, though, the funny part is the percentage growth in the luxury market is almost identical. It's almost the same as it's been for 4 or 5 years. But what you have to take into account is the growth has also increased on the homes that are not in the quote-unquote luxury market, 700,000 or 600,000 and less. So you've got that many more homes on that side. So you're still looking at about 1.5%. But we've actually had in units about a 60% increase in the last 2 years of luxury homes sold on the market. So there's a larger share, even though it doesn't really show up in the statistics. So yeah, the Ross Group, Libby and I decided to brand ourselves as the Ross Group Luxury Real Estate. And the reason we've done that is really we kind of fit into a mold where our average sales price is about $450 to $470, somewhere in there. We do homes from $100,000 and condos $70,000 on up. But we wanted people to understand, yes, we have knowledge and we are comfortable and we are very successful at the higher dollar homes in the luxury market. So currently the luxury market is still going through growth, but it's really just kind of the same. There's been other agents in the luxury market that have done very, very well in San Antonio, and their attitude is very much the same, that, yeah, there's been a boom in luxury, or has there? The percentages are still the same, but yes, it's a larger market out there.
And we still have seen multiple offers in the luxury area, up as high as, I think, 700-800. We've enjoyed multiple offers. If that perfect house comes on, you still have to move quickly.
You do.
To secure it.
That's exciting. Is there a difference in marketing? I mean, when you sell as a listing agent, Libby, you must have a listing presentation you go through.
Sure.
Is it different for a luxury?
A little bit different. And Coldwell Banker has a luxury series program.
Okay.
So the marketing that a listing of 700 plus receives is a little bit different. More TV spots, more magazine ads. We have a wonderful videographer that puts this amazing video to music. And one of the tools he uses is a drone, which is a big thing in real estate. It's actually becoming big in a lot of other industries.
Yeah.
But we have a drone. Her name is Amelia.
Oh.
And she flies up and over the property, and she comes down and into the entrance, and it's almost breathtaking.
Yeah, and when you're dealing with a luxury home and you have an individual that's buying, say, a $2-3 million home, usually those lots are fairly large. And so you
Correct.
want to showcase the whole lot, the private lot that's in the back part of, say, the Dominion or Inagua Springs or something like that. And the buyer, the educated buyer, they know what they want in that regard. So they want to see the entire view of that. And so that's been really beneficial. The other thing about it is when we're dealing with the luxury market is you have to understand that there are a couple of things within the home itself that are very, very important to a luxury buyer. And probably the biggest overlooked item in the entire luxury market is the master bedroom closet. A master bedroom closet for a luxury buyer has to be a major focal point of the home. If you think about it, you obviously understand they're probably very social. They have probably a lot of clothes and shoes. I know lots of women that have lots of shoes, right, Libby? I'm sure Carla has her share.
I do.
When you get into that world, they have nice things and they want to take care of those nice things. And so they want to feel pampered and special with regard to that and a little bit catered to. But at the end of the day, they're a client. They're no different. They want to buy, like you said earlier, Stan, they want to buy low, sell high. So we do still have to educate them and stage their house correctly. And when you get into that market, you have the ability to maybe do a little more personalization. So sometimes that can be a hindrance, depending on what those items are. And yes, we got to sit down and talk to that or work through those issues with those clients. So it's a little bit different, but
Well-
it is a lot the same as well.
And we give a little bit different service depending on the client need. I'll often open the listing for
Absolutely.
them. So they're a little more rigorous in the scheduling, but then I'm there to open the house. It's important that I point out all of the features and amenities that this house may have over the others in the neighborhood. Maybe on that second showing, we're going to prepare some wine and cheese for the buyers on the patio at sunset so they can really get a feel for what the view is like at sunset. So those are extra things we think about.
And then in addition to that, we also care a lot about the security.
Correct.
The security of a high-end luxury buyer is probably paramount. That's why we need to open for the listing, be there during the showing, and just keep it, private. That's how many sellers want, their listing to be marketed out there. So we do take that very much seriously into account.
It sounds like you've covered all the bases. I mean, I'm impressed. I think that I've seen your magazines and your listings, and I think that they're just done beautifully. But we just got to get our listeners to know the Ross Group.
Well, we hope this did it, and we would love to entertain any questions from the audience, or if they want to get a hold of us, they can always go to Get Ross Now. GetRossNow.com is our website. Please go there. You'll learn more about Libby and I and what we do. You'll see some fantastic testimonials from our clients. Don't listen to us talk about how good we are because we just try hard. Our clients have said some really nice things about us, and that's important. We do care about our clients and want them to feel like this was an experience that they need to share and tell their friends about. So, please go to Get Ross Now. And then on top of it, we also have a YouTube channel. See us on Facebook, Instagram, Pinterest, anything social media out there you'll be able to find us on. And if you see our face at HEB, wave to us and we'll wave back.
That's cute.
If you've just joined us, you're listening to Real Estate Radio San Antonio on KLUP with Carla and Stan. And we talked a little bit about the staging and as we go on here. Is there a property that you have that you want to share how it went or anything of that nature?
Give us a success story.
Yeah, success story of
Like you
something.
said, it's your clients that can tell you, but tell us one
Sure.
of your good stories.
Well, I shared the story about the one story in Deerfield that we
Yeah.
renovated and sold. And we've have multiple stories like that in older neighborhoods where homes need a little bit of love and care
Yes.
and renovation on a budget. You don't ever want to spend too much money before you sell. So we feel like we've got some neat quick fixes on countertops and lighting that don't cost the seller that much money. And then even for the staging, it doesn't have to be a whole house full of furniture. Maybe it's just the art. Maybe it's just the living room set. I remember once we had a home, and there were two very successful physicians that lived there, but their furniture was from med school. They didn't care. They worked their jobs all day, came home, had kids, but the furniture just didn't match.
the house,
The
or
house.
their income, or
Exactly. So that furniture was carefully moved into the garage, and the other furniture brought in, and that did it immediately because someone wanted that lifestyle.
Interesting. I love
What
that.
what is the if there's one thing that you could say that brings you reward in this industry? Can you share that with us? I mean, I know what mine is, and just that just makes me really feel good.
Well, there's a couple of them for me. First is, and this is, you'll appreciate this, Dan, being in the mortgage business, is that first-time home buyer.
Yes.
Oh my goodness, doing a loan for them was fantastic, but I'll tell you what, it's even better as a real estate agent because you're there holding their hand and their face is beaming. If you're a professional realtor and you're on top of the transaction, like many realtors in this city are, and you kind of guide them and help them and are there for them and hold their hand and make sure they understand what they need to do so it goes smoothly, like getting with a good lender, getting, making sure the contract is negotiated properly, all those things that are important. They get to the end and they're so excited and so happy. And it's no different for somebody that's got a, $1.5 million home when it sells. It's that thrill of being able to, make them happy and know that we performed the best service we could for them.
And to
you
make
know-
the process easy.
Yeah, we attend almost all of our closings that we possibly can. That's the most exciting time.
We
is
do
when-
as well.
Is when those keys are passed across that table. I mean, that is a feel-good time.
It
right
is.
there. It really is. Well, thank you both, Craig and Libby Ross, for
appreciate
joining
you.
us today with the Ross
Thank
Group.
you.
Thank you so much.
We've had a great time. We'll have to have you back. This is a lot of information that we haven't even covered yet, but you've covered a lot so far. But join us next week. Joining us next week will be Tara from the Elan residence out at Elan facility on the north side of San Antonio at the 1604 and I-10 area. And we're going to be covering the residents out there, the office area, the retail, the restaurants. It's a whole different world out there that's exciting with Real Estate Radio San Antonio next week on KUP.